Coming up on AC 24/7, it's being called the second largest bank collapse in U.S. history. We'll tell you what this means and how the Biden administration is responding. Plus, how Stanford University is responding after anti-Semitic graffiti is found on campus. And we'll hear from the stars of Scream 6. Hey there, welcome to AC 24/7. I'm your host, Lamar Baldwin. President Biden is looking to reassure Americans and the markets that the banking system is safe. That comes after a major bank collapse and a bank shutdown. The Advocate Channel's Karen Seraph reports on efforts to protect customer deposits and contain a crisis.
President Joe Biden trying to instill confidence in the American banking system after Silicon Valley Bank collapsed and Signature Bank was shut down by regulators, both within days of each other.
Americans can have confidence that the banking system is safe.
Biden said customers of the failed banks would have access to their money Monday, the funds coming from the Federal Deposit Insurance Fund, which banks pay into, and not from taxpayers. Biden also said investors took a knowing risk in the failed banks and would not be protected, and the bank's leaders fired. Silicon Valley Bank was little known to most Americans outside of the startup world before depositors hastily withdrew $42 billion last Thursday in a classic bank run amid anxiety about SVB's financial health. The Biden administration's plan was relief to customers like Stefan Kalb.
It's odd to think about it now, but just even a week ago, Silicon Valley Bank was the gold standard. We are expecting Silicon Valley Bank to be around.
On Sunday, New York state regulators seized Signature Bank, a big lender to the cryptocurrency industry. Fears of other regional banks on the brink are raising eyebrows about how they're regulated, with less stringent rules than those put in place for the major financial institutions after the 2008 financial crisis.
The problem is, because of those regulations, a lot of the business they were doing has migrated to the less regulated parts of the financial sector, which are now pretty big.
Meanwhile, the Securities and Exchange Commission said Monday it's on high alert for any misconduct amid the recent banking turmoil. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Another anti-Semitic incident is under investigation at Stanford University. University officials say a student found numerous swastikas and an image that looked like Adolf Hitler on a dorm door. The school says it's treating the incident as a crime, and the suspect or suspects could face legal action. The graffiti is not being considered protected speech. This is the second anti-Semitic incident. Arizona parents now have a hotline to call to report curriculum that feels inappropriate. The Empowerment Hotline was created by Arizona's Republican Superintendent for Public Instruction. Examples of public school topics that could be reported are those that they say distract from teaching standards, including lessons that focus on race or ethnicity rather than individuals and merit. Also deemed inappropriate lessons that promote gender ideology and social-emotional learning. A new study published by the Journal of Pediatrics reports sudden infant death surge among Black babies in 2020. Reports show the SUID rate for white babies dropped to the lowest it's been since 2017, and the rate for Black babies in 2020 was the highest it's been since then. It was an historic night at the Academy Awards with a diverse group of winners, including the first Black woman to win 2 Oscars. Ruth E. Carter won her second Academy Award in costume design for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Carter won her first Oscar statue in 2019 for her work on the first Black Panther movie. Carter thanked the Academy for, quote, recognizing the superhero that is a Black woman.
Listen, I pulled myself up from my bootstraps. I started, a single parent household. I wanted to be a costume designer. I studied, I scraped. I dealt with adversity in the industry that sometimes didn't look like me, and I endured. So I feel that this win opens the door for other young costume designers that, may not think that this industry is for them, and hopefully they'll see me and they'll see my story and they'll think that they can win an Oscar too.
Carter also dedicated the award to her mother, who died in the week leading to the show at 101 years old. She asked that Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman look after her mother. The new installation to the Scream franchise is killing it at the box office. Scream 6 just had the best debut weekend of all the Scream movies ever. The slasher flick pulled in $4.5 million to beat Creed 3 and Cocaine Bear. So far, the movie has fared well with critics and audiences. The Advocate Channel's Rachel Smith caught up with some of the stars of the film.
Thank you for such a thrilling new chapter. And without any spoilers, what would you say most surprised you about this next adventure when you got the script?
I mean, I was surprised, but not surprised, because I knew that our writers were incredible. But I was very surprised, like, from the opening sequence, how they managed to make it different and feel exciting and new and still scream. Like, from the moment that I read the first, like, 15 pages, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be different, you know, from the start. And I was in, you know.
Sadly, there's no Detective Dewey, but hello, Detective Bailey.
I know. We missed
a very sexy addition to the franchise, dare I say.
well, thank you for that. But we were, you know, I saw Scream 5 just to, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
When they called me with the part, my first question was, well, is David Arquette still in the movie? Because I hadn't seen Scream 5.
Sure.
So they called back that because I wanted to work with him. I thought I'd be cops in the same scene. So the agent called back that afternoon and said, I got bad news for you. Can you believe this? I got bad news for you. Dewey died. So that's how I found out. And then I go back and I watch all the Screams, and really David's work with Courtney too in that Scream 5 is really deep, and it's really, really strong. So it was doubly sad that Dewey's gone.
But now you're here.
So, yeah, but thanks for asking. And then the horror moves to big city New York, and guess who's there? Detective Wayne Bailey to track down the Ghostface killer.
We're wearing Ghostface's favorite color, Jasmine, red.
I know. Great minds think alike.
That's right. That's
Yours
right.
is a little more blood red than mine. What was the one thing that surprised? I mean, I'll give you away spoilers or anything. But what was the one thing that surprised you most about this next chapter when you got the script?
I was surprised that certain people didn't die.
Mm,
Ooh,
yeah. That's fair.
Because they really should have.
Perfectly vague.
that actually is good. That's good.
Yeah, I was surprised, equally as vague, but twice as poignant. I was surprised that certain people lived. To be honest, I read that script and I was like, oh, well, this person has to be dead.
The script said, nah.
The script says, no,
Sadly, this guy seems to stick around a long time. The studio sent me this. I'm so creeped out. I don't even want it in my house. I mean,
Yeah,
when
you
you guys
lifted it up and my stomach dropped.
Yeah.
do you guys still get that visceral reaction to this?
Yeah.
Yes.
If I were like actually on the subway or on the street and someone walked by and it would be bad.
You and Jenna are so great together. What was it like reuniting with your movie Scream sister?
Oh my gosh, it's such a gift. I love working with her. I feel so lucky that we've gotten to do 2 movies together, that we've gotten to explore and expand this sister relationship that just feels so natural and so like real and honest. And I think that's what people see on screen, because they're like, oh my God, you guys have such great chemistry, or you guys, the sisters are so believable. I'm like, yeah, because it's not hard to act like I love Jenna at all.
Aww.
You know, it's a very, we clicked from the beginning, and it's us too, but then also like Jasmine and Mason, like we just, I feel so lucky that the core 4 are in this together, and that we've gotten to make 2 movies now, and I would do anything with them and for them.
Well, I think next one you relocate to Vegas and get some headliners involved in the franchise family.
That's not a bad idea.
Adele could slay.
Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more content that advocates to you, go to advocatechannel.com and make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Lamont Baldwin.